Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 29th of January. As we follow Robert Murray McShane's reading scheme, we move through the Gospels from Matthew into Mark, reading chapter 1 today. Mark very quickly gets into the nitty-gritty of Jesus' life and ministry. And in verse 16, we read that he went to the Sea of Galilee, and as he walked there, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him. When he'd gone a little farther, he saw James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John in a boat, preparing their nets. Without delay, he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in the boat with the hired men and followed him. So here we have Jesus calling the first four disciples. They leave their nets, they leave what they're doing, and they follow him. From there, Jesus goes into a synagogue on the Sabbath, and as he's teaching, a demon-possessed man suddenly shouts out. And we have this impure spirit cries out, "What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." "Be quiet," said Jesus sternly. "Come out of him." The impure spirit shook the man violently and came out of him with a shriek. And as I read that, I thought, here was this demon-possessed man, and the impure spirit, as it's called within him, knew who Jesus was. He knew Jesus' nature. He knew Jesus' identity. He knew what Jesus could do. And so in that synagogue, that demon-possessed man had the greatest knowledge about Jesus of anyone there. The other disciples were still going to start finding out about Jesus. That impure spirit knew exactly who Jesus was, what his identity was, and what he could do, which is why he was so terrified of him, because he was evil and Jesus was good. And as I read that, I thought, it's a real challenge, because it challenges us that it doesn't matter how much we know about Jesus. It doesn't matter how much knowledge we have. If that knowledge doesn't shape how we live, it's wasted. And we see the disciples, Peter and Andrew and James and John, they knew very little about Jesus. They would find out a lot more as the time went by. At that point, they knew a small amount about him, but that shaped how they lived. They were able to leave their nets and follow him. And that's what really counts, how we let the knowledge of Jesus shape us and direct our paths, that we will be following him and living in his way and letting him direct our lives. So be encouraged as we read Scripture, not just to accumulate knowledge, because knowledge doesn't help us, but to let what we know and what we discover and what we find out about Jesus shape how we live. Because as we do that, we become more like the disciples, we become closer to Jesus, and we become disciples that he uses in his work in the world. So be encouraged to read and to let what you read shape your life. Be blessed.